I love the fact that I can see where my taxes go. Kasi di ba, number one, yung education nga, yung healthcare. Tapos ito, public places, you can freely go, very family-friendly, child-friendly.
Kumusta og maayong adlaw kabayan? Welcome back to the Pinoy Expat. My name is Icon and I am your host. Dito sa Pinoy Expat, pag-uusapan natin ang iba't ibang aspeto ng buhay ng Pilipino sa ibang bansa. Ngayong araw kasama natin si Attorney Camille, isang migration lawyer dito sa Australia. Samahan niyo ako at pakinggan natin ang kanyang kwento. Good morning, Attorney Camille, and welcome to the show.
Good morning din po, Tito Icon. Nice to meet you, and ang ganda-ganda ng Sydney.
Oh yeah, welcome to Sydney. How many times have you been here?
Siguro mga less than 10.
Less than 10.
Less than 10.
And ever since you arrived here, nasa Melbourne na talaga kayo?
Yes po, tama po yun.
Okay. Quickly, ikwento mo sa akin, ano ba yung background mo sa Philippines before you moved here?
Okay, so sa Philippines po, I am also a lawyer. So nasa government practice ako sa Office of the Solicitor General since 2014. Tapos, ayun, parang nag-resign ako 2021 because I wanted to pursue international studies here in Australia.
Ano ba yung motivation ninyo moving here to Australia?
Number one po talaga yung family kasi nandito na yung sister ko, yung panganay po namin. So parang si daddy po namin kasi sabi niya, gusto ko pag tumanda sila, magkakasama pa rin kami magkakapatid. Eh, yung sister ko citizen na dito. So parang walang chance na babalik siya doon for us to be complete pa. Kaya pag-decide namin magkakapatid, okay, we will try our fate. Try natin na I will go here para makuha din namin yung parents and another sister. And then yun, nakita namin na may possibility ako for migration here as a lawyer, and then we moved to that path.
Migration here as a lawyer, does that mean na nag-aral ka ng law dito?
Correct po, kasi for us to be able to practice law here in Australia, kapag lawyer ka in a foreign jurisdiction, you have to study priestly subjects here in Australia and then do an internship before you get admitted to practice law here in Australia.
Right. So, ibig sabihin, ang entry mo dito, student visa.
Correct, student visa.
And did you move here by yourself or with your family, the entire family?
The entire family, family of 5.
Wow! So, buong barkada
Correct.
nandito.
Wala po, yun po talaga yung non-negotiable ko kasi parang feeling ko I can't do it without them. Lalo na yung support system kasi I know po yung support system talaga when you go abroad. Very big chunk siya ng survival. So sabi ko, kung hindi ko sila madadala, nung nag-apply kami ng student visa, kung ma-refuse yung sa kanila, hindi talaga ako pupunta kasi gusto ko kasama sila. And blessed enough naman nung dumating yung grant, kaming 5 granted.
Okay, so kayong 5, ibig sabihin, you, your husband, and your 3 kids.
Yes. Yes.
And how old are your kids?
Okay, so my eldest is 11, my middle child is turning 6 this December, and my youngest is turning 3 this November.
Turning 3.
3.
And how
yes.
long have you been here in Australia?
Magti-3 na din.
Okay, so
Yes.
ibig sabihin, toddler or newborn yung pagbunso mo.
1 month. Nung
Oh my-
nag-travel kami dito, naka-mask pa kami noon that time kasi talagang yun yung pandemic era. So naka-mask kami nung pati mga bata nung nag-travel kami.
How difficult was it for you?
Very difficult. Very, very difficult. Pero kinaya kasi dapat nandun yung determination mo. Napupunta tayo dito, so kung ano man yung obstacles, kailangan mong i-hurdle.
And what about your husband? Anong sinabi niya when you said na, Habi, pupunta tayo ng Australia, magmamigrate tayo ng Australia?
Interesting story pa dito, Tito Icon, is at that time, meron na rin siyang offer sa Amerika to teach kasi SPED teacher siya. As in, nandun na-interview na siya and everything, pupunta na lang siya ng American Embassy to get the visa. Tapos, dumating si student visa grant ng Australia. And then, sabi namin, okay, ano yung pupuntahan natin, America o Australia? Nag-weigh kami ng things, tapos sabi ko, sa Amerika, wala tayong family. Walang magsusupport sa atin. Sa Australia, nandun si ate ko, nandun ni auntie ko. So, I think better sa Australia. Kaya lang, dito sa Australia, career ko uunahin, siya magba-backseat. And then, he was willing to do that for me.
Right. So yung yung ano pa tawag dyan, pinakamatimbang para sa inyo is yung family.
Yes. Correct.
Dito sa Australia, very open yung shifting ng career. Sa Philippines, attorney ka, lawyer ka. What was your motivation na pagdating dito, maglo-lawyer pa din?
Okay, that will be my parents. Kasi nung sabi nila, okay lang naman na mag-abroad, magpunta ng Australia. Pero gusto nila or hiling talaga nila is kung pupunta ka doon, dapat lawyer ka din. Well, siguro yung mga basic lang na parents' opinion na pinag-aral ka namin sa Philippines, gumastos kami ng ganito kalaki for you to become a lawyer, tapos pupunta ka sa ibang bansa na hindi yun yung ipapractice mo. So that was my paramount consideration. Then sabi ko, sige, pag pupunta ako sa Australia, dapat lawyer din ako.
And I think that's fair.
Yes.
Pero kung ikaw mismo, kung ikaw lang yung magde-decide without your parents na ano yung pipiliin mo, would you still choose to be a migration lawyer?
Lawyer pa din. Pero siguro yung kung migration lawyer, doon yung pag-iisipan ko kung anong field. Pero basically talaga lawyer pa din. Kasi parang wala akong ibang alam na gawin. Kasi for 8 years, lawyer ako sa Philippines, walang ibang craft. So, pagpunta dito, parang alam ko, doon lang din ako mag-excel bilang a lawyer.
So lawyer pa din, pero hindi ka sure kung migration.
Yes.
Now, why migration law?
Another interesting story, Tito Icon. Nung nandito kami na sa Australia, lahat ng pwede kong kontakin na lawyer na dito, na Filipino din, ginawa ko, nag-LinkedIn, nag-Instagram, lahat ng pwede kong masendan na messages para lang mag-ask, tama ba yung pathway na ginagawa ko, tinatahak ko. Tapos, I remembered one friend sa Philippines na classmate siya dati ng ate ko, na alam kong lawyer na rin siya dito. That's Kuya Marvin. Tapos nagtanong ako, Kuya Marvin, ito yung ginagawa ko, kumusta? Tama po ba to? Ganyan. And then, nag-reply siya sa akin, oo, tama naman. Tapos, the next message, sabi niya, may trabaho ka ba ngayon, Camille? Sabi ko, wala po. Kasi may opening sa firm namin para legal. Tapos sabi ko, ano pong ginagawa nun? Tapos in-explain niya, kung mag-alala, tuturuan kita, iti-train kita sa migration law. Sabi ko, kuya, wala akong alam sa migration law, zero knowledge. So sabi niya, I will be training you, you will be under my wing, huwag kang mag-alala. Tapos tinanong ko si husband, kaya ba natin mag-full-time ako? 3 yung anak natin, tapos nag-work ka din full-time. Sabi niya, kakayanin natin kasi kailangan. So, tapos, ang maganda po, work from home.
Right.
So, I don't need to go sa office. Sabi ko, sige, take natin yung challenge. Doon na po nag-start migration law.
And the rest, as they say, is
Yes,
history.
history na.
And ano itong, pwede mo bang banggitin, ano itong paralegal agency na ito na pinasukan mo before?
Yung Myson Chan Law Group, kung saan po ako ngayon nagtatrabaho din. So, I started paralegal migration lawyer.
So ever since arriving here, nandun ka pa din sa kanila?
Yes, that's correct.
Myson Chan Law, is that Tracy Migration?
Yes, siya po si Tracy Migration.
Tracy
Correct.
Migration, very popular sa TikTok.
Yes, opo, social media, tycoon na yata siya.
Oo nga eh. Yeah. So kailan mo natapos yung migration law mo?
Okay, natapos ko po siya ng December 2022. And then, kailangan ko pong mag-enroll for 15 weeks of practical legal training. So, from December 2022 to March 2023, natapos ko po talaga lahat. And then, by March 31st of 2023, nag-apply na po ako for admission sa Supreme Court of Victoria.
Right. So for more than a year now, you're a full-fledged migration lawyer. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Sipin mo na parang ang haba ng panahon, pero kung titingnan mo talaga, parang ang bilis lang. So, kailan lang yung 2022 when you guys arrived here?
Correct po.
Now, here, kasi meron tayong migration agent, merong migration lawyer. Ano ang pagkakaiba ng migration agent at migration lawyer?
Okay, so punta muna po tayo sa kaparehas nila. Only registered migration agents and Australian legal practitioners can lawfully provide immigration assistance in Australia. Pero po si Australian legal practitioner, kahit hindi ka Australian citizen, kahit hindi ka PR, pwede ka mag-practice ng law dito sa Australia. But migration agents, they have to be either Australian citizen or PR.
Right. So, hindi siya pwede na parang naka-temporary visa lang tapos kumuha ng ilang units for migration. Okay.
Hindi po,
Okay, that
opo.
makes sense. Now, kanino kami dapat lumapit or sino yung mas prefer na lapitan namin when asking for migration advice?
Parehas naman po. Kasi po ang registered migration agents, ang alam ko po nag-aral din sila and then they have to take an exam bago makapag-register. So, I reckon very knowledgeable din sila migration agents. Siguro ang difference lang po kasi pag legal practitioner ka, you also have other fields na alam mo. Like, for example, alam mo yung labor law, alam mo din yung mga family law, alam mo din yung criminal law. So, alam mo kung may may matatamaan na ibang condition or law dito sa papasukan mo. So, siguro parang mas encompassing lang si migration lawyer.
Mas broad si
Yes,
si migration lawyer.
Opo.
Okay, and that makes sense. your job can practically be done anywhere. Gaya ng sabi mo kanina, nag-work from home ka. And you don't have to be physically be in the office. Kung bibigyan ka ng opportunity na mag-work from home full-time sa Philippines, would you grab that opportunity?
No, I won't po, Tito
Bakit?
Icon. Number one, family talaga. And yung lalo na yung mga anak ko. Parang, para sa akin, mas gusto ko na sila dito lumaki talaga. Well, we go to the Philippines siguro for vacation purposes, pero mas gusto ko na sila dito.
Sige nga, explain to me ano yung pinaka pagkakaiba when raising a kid sa Philippines and raising them here in Australia.
Number one, yung support. Kasi sa Philippines, di ba, meron tito, tita, lahat nandun aalagaan si baby, mayaya. Dito, you do everything on your own. Like, mula sa paghatid sa school, pag-aalaga, pagpapaka, ikaw talaga lahat. And feeling ko, mas maganda yung nag-work yun sa aming mag-asawa kasi nagiging hands-on kami dun sa mga anak namin.
Right.
Doon kasi parang, si Yaya na yung magpapakain, si Yaya na yung magdadala ng school. So parang, I can do my work, pero iba yung gumagawa ng work for my children. Parang para sa akin, better yung ako yung may connection sa mga anak ko.
Now, speaking of your kids, ano yung pinaka-challenging part para sa'yo when it comes to raising your kids sa Philippines and raising them here? Apart dun sa sinabi mo.
Okay. I'm not sure, Tito Icon, kung talamak talaga, pero yung bullying, number one yun na parang na-culture shock din ako dito sa Australia na very, pala yung bullying dito. Parang,
Prevalent siya.
it's an issue here. Tapos, I didn't know na ma-experience nung anak ko yon. Pero good thing naman dito sa Australia, I think, is they address them. Once you inform them about it, once you relay the information, this happened to my child, please ina-address talaga nila. Sa Philippines, hindi ko sure kung paano doon, pero hindi pa naman kasi na-experience sa anak ko doon sa Philippines yon. Pero dito, I appreciate talaga yung immediate response nila sa bullying.
And I think Australian government and the educational system is yun na nga, very hands-on when it comes to issues like that. We talk about moving back to the Philippines. Sabi mo, no, dito pa rin ako. I'll raise my kids here. Now, what would make you go back to the Philippines for good right now?
Parang wala akong maisip at the moment. Ano
bang meron sa Australia na wala sa Pilipinas na doesn't want you to leave Australia?
Family ko nandito na. Nandito na yung sisters ko, aunt ko, nandito na yung parents. So parang pa yung pupuntahan ko sa Philippines ulit. And then, kung sakali man na nandun pa yung family ko, na kami lang yung nandito, yung peace of mind ko, kasi, alam mo naman dito Icon, yung health. Diba? Tapos sa Philippines, naka-private insurance kami doon. Pero ang laki ng binabayaran natin every month. Dito, naka-Medicare kami. So, parang kahit anong mangyari, alam mo na may peace of mind ka na it's settled. It will be settled. It will be handled. Education din. Sa Philippines, magkano yung monthly tuition fee ng mga anak natin doon? 3 pa yung anak ko, di ba? Parang hanggang college yan, baka hanggang postgraduate ako pa rin. Kasi syempre, magulang, gusto ko hanggang postgraduate ako pa din. Pero dito, yung peace of mind kasi parang it's immeasurable, no? Parang ganun. So alam ko dito, my children will have their good future. Sila naman talaga yung reason why we moved here. So, yun.
So what you're saying is no amount of money
Yes.
can buy the quality of life dito.
Yes, and peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind talaga.
You've been here for ilan taon na? 2.5? Is it?
Magtatatlo na yung bunso namin.
So turning 3 na.
Oo.
Okay. And ano so far yung favorite part mo about living in Australia?
I love the fact that I can see where my taxes go. Kasi di ba, number one, yung education nga, yung healthcare. Tapos ito, public places, you can freely go, very family-friendly, child-friendly. Tapos, yung do barbecue sa park lang, di ba? Na-amaze ako yung fact na may ganung mine-maintain for the family ng each suburb, which is wonderful. Tapos yung public transportation, very, very nice. Sa Philippines, di ba, parang pag nag-train ka, papasok ka doon, napakaganda mo. Paglabas mo, parang basang sisiw ka na teka, papasok pa ba ako, ganyan. Pero dito, pwede ka pang naka-heel sa train, pwede ka pang naka-bag, naka-shades. Paglabas mo, ganun ka pa rin. Postura kasi very, very nice talaga yung public transportation.
And not to mention, no, na every after tax season, makakatanggap ka ng email stating saan napunta yung tax mo.
Correct. Parang meron silang accountability. Meron talaga silang accountability and transparency dito. Yun yung parang pinaka na-appreciate ko din dito sa Australia.
And ano naman yung so far yung worst part, pinaka hindi mo gusto?
Okay. Siguro po yung cultural diversity dito, hindi ko lang siya pa totally ma-adapt. Kasi parang, syempre iba-iba tayo dito ng culture, iba-iba tayo ng nationality. Minsan hindi ko alam how I will behave in front of someone. Kasi baka I will be offensive kapag ito'y sinabi ko. Kasi sa atin, nagpapatawa lang tayo, ganun. Pero sa kanila pala offensive. So yun yung minsan, teka, ano kaya ang lahi nito? Paano ako magbe-behave in front of him? So yun lang. Pero of course, I love the fact na may diversity dito sa Australia. But that is something that I have to learn myself.
Yun na nga, what I say is Australia is a country of immigrants,
Yes.
built by immigrants actually.
Yes.
And yeah, like you, when I first started here, ang hirap kasi ito yung halimbawa, Middle Eastern siya, paano ba makikipag-interact sa Middle
Yes.
Eastern,
Oo,
ganun.
oo.
Sa Indian and sa Philippines, like lahat Pilipino eh. So alam mo yung ugali. That's
Yes.
going back to your career as a migration lawyer. Ano so far yung pinaka-common na mistake na ginagawa ng mga visa applicants or mga immigrants dito sa Australia?
Yung kino-compare nila yung mga sarili nila sa iba. Yung ginagawa nila yung ginagawa ng iba, knowing na, okay, same kami ng situation, ito din yung gagawin ko. Pero hindi. Kasi no one matter is perfectly the same or exactly the same as the other. Ang pwede mong gawin is, kung nakikita mo na parang parehas kami, use their experience as a reference only. But do not do it 100% the same. You have to do more research about it. Kung talaga bang eligible, kung talaga bang applicable ito sa akin. Kasi they just share what they can share. They can just tell you what they want you to tell. Pero hindi mo alam, may mga other information pala about them na hindi mo alam. Hindi applicable sa'yo. Ginawa mo the same with what they did. Iba yung naging turnout nung sa'yo, parang ganon.
Right. And I can actually agree to this kasi first-hand experience, parehas na parehas yung ginawa nung dalawang kilala ko. Yung isa, ginaya niya lang kasi same sila ng situation daw eh. Ang ending, denied yung visa niya.
Yes, oo. Kasi akala nila, ganito din yung occupation niya, ganito din yung work experience niya. Tapos ginawa mo din yung ginawa niya. It's not the same. Meron talaga siyang siguro a few information or details na magkaiba kayo.
In your opinion, ano ang pinakamagandang diskarte for a young adult if they want to migrate to Australia?
Okay. For me, siguro if what they can start offshore, they do it ASAP. For example, pwede na sila mag-invest ng English test. They can do skills assessment offshore already. Yung kung ano yung pwede mo magawa na offshore, gawin mo na. You don't need to be in Australia to do everything. Doon mo lang sisimulan pag nasa Australia ka na. Wag ganon. So dapat kung ano na yung pwede mong magawa while in the Philippines or kung saan ka mang country, gawin mo na. Tapos, wag short-term planning. Wag yung ma-apply ko lang to, mag-grant lang to, okay na. Hindi. Dapat after bang mag-grant dito, ano na yung next kong gagawin? Ito ba yung plano ko? Ito ba yung pathway na tatahakin ko? Dapat may long-term plan ka na. Para hindi ka pagtatapos na itong first step mo, hindi mo na alam kung anong pupuntahan mo. So, kakapit ka na lang sa patalim para lang makontinue yung gusto mong marating. So, dapat long term.
And I share the same sentiment, no? So, sinasabi ko lagi, wag yung basta makarating lang ng Australia,
Yes,
bahala
bahala na.
kung anong next. So, plan ahead.
Yes.
After nito, ano ba yung next? And after this, so mga plan ka ng 3 to 5 steps ahead.
Correct po yun.
Getting scammed when it comes to applying for visa is very rampant. Ang daming scammers. Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, but sa Middle East and other countries. Now, ano yung isang bagay na pwedeng gawin ng isang visa applicant para maiwasan na ma-scam?
Okay. Number 1 po ka dyan is, social media is helpful. Okay? But learn how to choose who to listen to and who to trust to. And yung sinabi ko pa rin po kanina, do your own research. Tapos may mga phone, how to contact naman ng department. May list ng mga registered migration agents. They can also search about the law firm before they engage the services. May mga Google reviews. May mga websites that, they can visit to prove that, ito bang firm na to or agent na to ay lawfully practicing in Australia. So, napaka-importante po talaga na you are well-informed bago kayo jump into a decision na you will engage the services of someone.
Right. And I would say the gist of it all is siguro common sense. Common sense na lang, nakita mo ang mura nung bayad.
Correct. Too good to be true.
Too good to be true, mga ganon. Tapos
Mm-mm.
nakita mo na yung Facebook page recently lang ginawa, yung mga ganong
Yes.
bagay. So I
Apo.
guess, yeah, common sense. You've been here for 3 years now. Para sa'yo, ano yung pinaka-common na misconception when it comes to moving to Australia or any other country for that matter?
Yung magandang buhay agad. Yung madami ka agad money. Ganyan, paglipat mo. So, hindi ganun. Hindi siya ganun. You really have to, literal back to zero ka. Kasi number one, it's a different country. Yung situation mo sa Philippines, it will not be, or in any other country, it will not be the same pagdating mo sa Australia or kahit anong new country.
And kayo, kasi ikaw, lawyer ka sa Philippines
Mm-mm.
for 8 years. Husband mo, nagtuturo.
Mm-mm.
Pagdating nyo dito, back to zero din ba kayo?
Well, we had our savings to start with. Tapos nung nagpunta po kami dito, parehas pa kami nagtuturo online. Kasi law professor din ako sa Philippines. Tapos siya nagtuturo. And hybrid pa nun eh. So we were able to, very blessed, we were able to earn pa din while we are here through sa Philippines.
So, hindi talagang literal na back to zero.
Hindi naman.
Siguro back to 0.5.
Yes,
mga
mga
ganun.
1.5.
Oh,
ganyan.
1.5. Okay. Kahit papaano, one step ahead.
Yes,
Ganun.
yes.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
You've been working for Tracy Migration ever since you arrived here.
Yes.
Do you have any plans of putting up your own agency in the future?
Okay. To be honest, Tito Icon, parang ang goal ko na yan in the future maging full-time housewife. Si Mr. ko na yung maging full-time. Pero kidding aside, I'm very happy with Tracy now. Yung support system, best mentor talaga siya. Kasi nag-start ako zero, talaga wala akong alam talaga sa migration. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung mga visa options, visa types, ganyan. Parang everything I know, I've learned it from her. And I am very, very happy as of time. So, as of now, so parang para sa akin, at the moment, yun yung importante sa akin. So, yeah.
So, stick muna with Tracy.
Yes, yes.
Shout out, by the way, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy!
So, with Tracy Migration, what are your services and how do we reach you?
Okay po. Si Tracy Migration or Myson Chen Law Group, we cater or we address all visa applications and skills assessment processes and all other migration processes. You can reach us at reception@mysonchenlaw.com.au or you may also call us at 03-7065-1628.
Wow, kumpletong
Yes.
details. Well, that's it for today, Attorney Camille. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Do you have
you.
any inspiring message to our viewers?
Okay. You did not come this far to only come this far. And then, yun lagi yung sinasabi sa akin ni Tracy. At saka siguro, laging iisipin na kapag kasama mo siya, kasama mo yung family mo, everything is possible. Yun.
Wow, that's a very beautiful message.
Yay.
Thank you so much once again, Attorney Camille.
Thank you.
Guys, Attorney Camille, all the way from Melbourne. Nandito ngayon sa Sydney with with Myson Chen Law Group.
Yay.
They do visa migration services, so make sure to reach them out if meron kayong visa questions. This has been another wonderful episode of the Pinoy Expat. If you want to watch more episodes like this, make sure to follow us on Facebook and our YouTube channel. Once again, my name is Icon, and you're watching the Pinoy Expat. See ya!